Tell us about Nextdoor, what it is, and maybe what's unique about it relative to maybe other social networks like Facebook.
Sure. So Nextdoor, we are all about local. We're founded on trust, so it is your neighbors. We have verified that those are the people living around you. From there, we want to be able to do three things. We want to keep you informed about what's going on in your neighborhood. We want to help you get connected. Remember, most people don't know their neighbors, so it's a huge problem that we're trying to solve. And the third is help you get things done. Everything from help me find a babysitter, help me find the best plumber, help me find a great event to go to this weekend. We're there to make sure that anything you want to do in a hyper-local fashion gets done on Nextdoor.
Okay, how big is Nextdoor in terms of members or cities or neighborhoods?
Sure, so today we're about 240,000 neighborhoods across 10 countries. So the great thing I see with Nextdoor is there's not a community in the world that doesn't want to create stronger, safer communities. So today we are in the US, but we also resonate very well in countries like the UK, the Netherlands, Australia, other European countries. But frankly, the world's our oyster, right? You can go anywhere. North Korea, I mean, you name it, there still will be a mom maybe looking to find other moms. You might find a senior that's lonely that wants to meet other seniors. Everybody's tap or faucet breaks down at some point in life. They need the plumber. So we view it as a really open-ended opportunity.
So on the business side, your company recently had a capital raise of about $123 million, and nice valuation, $2.1 billion. Talk to us about that raise and kind of what the use of proceeds are for.
Absolutely. So we were delighted with that fundraise. It was one of the first things I wanted to do coming in as a new CEO, is always just to make sure that you have the right balance sheet to do everything else that you want to get done. The round itself, as you noted, $2.1 billion, $123 million raised, a very nice mixture of new investors coming in, so Riverwood Capital led it, but also current investors, so folks like Benchmark Capital and Kleiner Perkins. In terms of what we want to do with it, really three things. The first is to continue to drive growth, so we continue to have global aspirations, so this helps us go country by country. Second area is engagement. So once we have neighbors on the platform, how do we keep creating more utility? The way you do that is you hire more engineers, they build more great products, and they cost a lot of money to go out and hire. And the third area that we are digging into is this power of local business. So also one of my passions in life, clearly coming from where I was before, is what can you do to help local businesses thrive? And we know that when they thrive, communities thrive. And so we're putting a big push into how do we bring local small businesses onto the platform too.
One of the big issues I think that's getting probably more play over the last several years, particularly for social media platforms, has been privacy.
Yeah.
So for Nextdoor, I know there's been some issues about what information is shared between neighbors. Is there some profiling going on in neighborhoods? How do you deal with the content that goes on your platform?
Sure, so it's a great question, and I think it is absolutely something we as platforms have to make sure we're being very proactive about. I started by saying we're founded on trust, so we actually do a lot to verify that you live in that house, in that neighborhood. I would call it almost a very friction-full onboarding process, very un-Silicon Valley. Because of that, it's not a bot, it's not a made-up person, it truly is your neighbor. Second thing that we do is that once you're on the platform, it is your name and your address that's seen. So it never makes everyone their best selves. Clearly, when people are passionate about particular topics, that can get contentious sometimes. But by having your name there, we think it makes you your better self. And then I think the third piece where you were going with things like racial profiling, we use a lot of design, and we've worked with a lot of academics over time to really help, as people make a post, help them really get into the front part of their brain where they're truly thinking. And we spend a lot of time talking about kindness, that ultimately kind posts, kindness in your neighborhood, that's what builds social capital.
Great.